How hard NDA is for 12th student?
Willing to live a life which is full of fun, frolic, along with deep sense of sincerity, commitment, then NDA IMA is the place for you.
Is NDA only for Indian Army or for other defense services as well? When I talk about NDA and IMA, दो training हैं generally, NDA और IMA. What are the basic difference between NDA and IMA?
Mobile communication is going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
It is actually going to be a stress creator, not a stress buster.
मैं समझना चाहूँगा कि NDA में ऐसा कौन सा टेस्ट होता है उस 7 days में? ऐसी क्या चीजें हैं जिसमें रिजेक्शन रेशियो इतना ज्यादा है?
The nature of job of a soldier is 24/7. So he is on duty 24/7, 365.
Yeah. एक पर्टिकुलर स्किल सेट होनी चाहिए आज की जनरेशन में, वो नहीं मिल पा रही है. रील्स में एंड वॉचिंग सम फनी कंटेंट ऑन इंटरनेट, वी आर स्पेंडिंग टाइम एंड हमें पता नहीं चलता हमारे सारे टाइम इसमें निकल जा रहे हैं और वी आर नॉट एबल टू इंक्रीज आवर स्किल सेट. Welcome to the Changemaker Show, where we connect industry leaders to share their inspiring journey for youth generation of India. Today, we have privilege to have a conversation with Colonel Nitin Sehgal, विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल. इनकी जर्नी बहुत ही कमाल की है और आज हम अपनी यूथ जनरेशन के साथ इनकी पूरी इंस्पायरिंग जर्नी शेयर करने वाले हैं. कर्नल सहगल ने 1992 में इंडियन आर्मी ज्वाइन किया था. 1996 में उनकी ट्रेनिंग कंप्लीट हुई और उसके बाद उन्होंने इंडियन आर्मी में अप्रॉक्सीमेट फॉर 25 ईयर्स सर्व किया. आफ्टर कंप्लीशन ऑफ 25 ईयर्स उन्होंने इंडियन आर्मी को छोड़ के कॉर्पोरेट में जंप किया. सो दिस इज़ द एंटायर कॉन्सेप्ट, दिस इज़ द एंटायर जर्नी दैट वी विल बी हैविंग अ डिस्कशन. वी विल टॉक अबाउट NDA, वी विल टॉक अबाउट IMA, वी विल टॉक अबाउट द एंटायर इंडियन आर्मी लाइफ. We will talk about Indian Army life versus corporate life. So stay tuned. Welcome sir. आपका स्वागत है हमारे शो पे.
Thank you.
So sir, आज हम लोग बात करने वाले हैं आपकी इंटायर जर्नी पे. हम बहुत सारी बातें करेंगे NDA प्रोसेस के ऊपर, IMA ट्रेनिंग के ऊपर. So मैं एक जर्नी आपकी स्कूल लाइफ से स्टार्ट करना चाहूँगा. Can we have little bit bite about your school life?
Hello Anupam. First of all, thank you so much for having me on this wonderful show of yours.
Thank you, sir.
In my initial introduction, I have been born and brought up in Delhi.
Okay.
I did my initial schooling from Mount St. Mary School in Delhi, Kent, for about 7-8 years.
All right.
And after that, I shifted to Delhi Public School, RK Puram. School journey is always remarkable. It was great. It was too much of learning, friends, which we carry till today.
Right.
And the initial foundational years, जो आपके जीवन के मूलभूत सिद्धांत या जो आपके जो बेसिक्स बनने हैं,
Right.
वो स्कूल लाइफ में इस्टेब्लिश हो जाते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
बहुत ज़रूरी चीज़ जो कि आज की डेट में जैसे हमें अब आके फील भी होता है कि आपकी क्लासेस 9th और 11th बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्लासेस होती हैं एज फार एज योर सिलेबस इज कंसर्न फॉर योर जर्नी टुवर्ड्स योर 10th and 12th.
Okay.
So basically all these last 4 years I did in DPS RK Puram and it was a wonderful learning journey. And I graduated from my school in 1992.
Okay. When I talk about DPS RK Puram, so DPS RK Puram का बहुत बड़ा नाम है. Not only in Delhi NCR, I could say पूरे इंडिया के अंदर बहुत अच्छा नाम है. DPS RK Puram के बारे में एक ऐसा कहा जाता है और ऐसा माना जाता है कि it produce leaders. In terms of corporate में बहुत ही अच्छे लीडर्स दिए हैं इन्होंने. IIT IIM में बहुत ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स हैं जो जनरली फ्रॉम DPS RK Puram से हैं. Then how you decided to switch directly स्कूल से निकले और निकलते ही NDA की तरफ? How you planned for it?
This is a question which has been asked to me many times before also. DPS RK Puram is generally famous for sending people to IITs and
Yes.
Medical streams.
Sure.
And these kind of fields. But then as you're aware, everybody and anybody cannot go into IITs and
True.
DCs and Roorkees.
Yeah.
People have to go into different streams. And as you very rightly said, that the school is maker of leaders.
True.
Army is an organization which is the bedrock of leadership, which is the and you said that I joined NDA. NDA is the cradle of leadership.
Yes.
I am totally from a civil background. मेरे परिवार में कोई भी armed forces में नहीं थे. Due to various career options available in class 12th which were visible,
Okay.
one of the option available was NDA. Good part about NDA exam is कि आप इसको while you are in class 12th ही आप अपेयर कर सकते हैं, which is a very big plus point. आप जो 12th की पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं तकरीबन सेम सिलेबस एडिशनल मेहनत करके आप उसके रिटन एग्जाम के लिए सितंबर में जब रिटन एग्जाम होता है सितंबर में ही आप अपेयर करके while you are in 12th.
Okay.
And by the time you finish your board exams or you are during your board exams you go for your SSB.
Okay.
your medical, and right by the time your board exam result comes, you are ready to go into the NDA. So not even a single day wasted. The terms start in June and December. So for the June 1992 batch, I got selected while being in 12th and I joined NDA.
कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन फॉर दैट सर। एंड ये बहुत ही कमाल की बात है। मैं मानता हूँ आज के टाइम पे आज भी हम तो अभी बात कर रहे हैं 3 decades बिफोर, बट आज के टाइम पे भी एनडीए एक ड्रीम जॉब है। और आज के स्टूडेंट जो 10th 12th क्रॉस कर रहे हैं, दे आर हैविंग अ ड्रीम कि ठीक है यार, मुझे किसी भी हाल में एनडीए क्रैक करना है। और व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट एनडीए के बारे में बहुत से मिसकंसेप्शन भी हैं मार्केट में, बहुत से मिथ भी हैं जो आज की यूथ जनरेशन को, स्टूडेंट्स को एक्चुअली नहीं पता है। मैं थोड़ा सा इसके बारे में डिटेल से आपके साथ बात करना चाहूँगा। व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट एनडीए, is NDA only for Indian Army or for other defense services as well?
Okay. National Defense Academy, which is located in Khadakwasla, Pune.
Okay.
It is for all 3 services, firstly. So Army, आपने Army join करना है, चाहे Navy join करना है, चाहे Air Force join करना है, you can go into and join NDA.
Okay.
The procedure which I brought out before, the process is first is a written exam, followed by a SSB. Army, as I keep saying to everybody, Army is not only a profession, it is a way of life.
Yes.
It is एक जीने का ढंग है, एक देखने का नजरिया है। बहुत लोग इस वजह से भी एनडीए आईएमए में ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि वो गवर्नमेंट जॉब है, सिक्योर्ड गवर्नमेंट जॉब है, which gets you a confirmed salary on the first of every month and a lifelong pension along with medical benefits and other benefits.
Yeah.
So the good part about NDA is that you're getting into a secure government job with all the perks and privileges. Myths as regarding that field area में होंगे, आप टेररिस्ट को लड़ते हुए हो सकते हैं, या आप लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पे जहाँ बहुत हेवी स्नोफॉल होता है, वहां पे आप वेदर कैजुअलिटी हो सकते हैं, एवलांच में कुछ हो सकता है। सो दोज आर मिथ्स इन द सेंस व्हाई आई वुड से इफ यू सी द percentage wise it is very low. The number of deaths caused in a road accident are at least 14 times than the deaths caused by these factors. आप रूम में बैठे हैं, आपका रूफ गिर गया, फैन गिर गया, आप सड़क पे जा रहे हैं, रोड एक्सीडेंट हो गया, so all these are also reasons of death and injury. So why blame only one profession or why blame only one this thing?
Exactly.
If you are in for adventure, if you are passionate about seeing new places, if you are willing to live a life which is full of fun, frolic, along with deep sense of sincerity, commitment, then NDA IMA is the place for you.
Okay. When I talk about NDA and IMA, like you already explained, अभी 2 training हैं generally, NDA और IMA. What are the basic difference between NDA and IMA?
Okay. So NDA, when we join, initial 2 years, the training for Army, Navy and Air Force is common.
Okay.
After 2 years, that is when we go into the 5th semester, then our service specific training starts. So Army cadets go for separate training, Air Force cadets go for separate training, and Naval cadets go for separate training. After 1 year of specialized training in NDA itself, we go to our respective academies. So the Army cadets go to Indian Military Academy, IMA, which is at Dehradun. Naval cadets go to training academy at Kochi or Lonavala. Okay. And the Air Force cadets go to their training academy at Hakimpet, which is the Air Force Academy. Okay. So IMA is only for the Army cadets.
IMA is only for Army cadets.
Yes.
Okay. This is in Dehradun.
This is in Dehradun.
Okay. सर एक बहुत ही कमाल का क्वेश्चन मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा है, and I really wanted to ask you because 1992 you started your training and आपने आर्मी में जो लास्ट सर्व किया वो 2021 में। सो एक कमाल का चेंज है। इफ आई टॉक अबाउट 90s देन 2000 एंड 2021, एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज है जैसा मैं ऑब्जर्व कर पाया बिकॉज आई एम 90 बॉर्न, तो मैं उस टाइम से अपने आप को चीज़ों को बहुत रिलेट कर पाऊंगा। मेरे रिलेटिव थे कुछ, मतलब मेरे मामा ही हैं खुद के, ही इज इन इंडियन आर्मी। तो उस टाइम पे एक अगर मैं अभी रक्षाबंधन गया, अगर एक छोटी सी कन्वर्सेशन भी करनी होती थी तो my mom used to write a letter and then post it to मामा जी, and ये काफी टाइम लगता था वहां पहुंचने में, and then for getting the revert back even एक पेशेंस बहुत ज्यादा रखना होता था कि ठीक है आई विल गेट बैक। एक नॉर्मल सी खबर सुनने को भी बहुत ज्यादा टाइम। आज की जनरेशन में काफी कुछ चेंज हो चुका है, इट्स जस्ट अ फोन कॉल। हमने एक फोन कॉल किया, आपने दोनों लाइफ जी है, आपने 90s में वहां पे ज्वाइन किया और अभी के टाइम पे आपने वहां से रिटायरमेंट ली। सो ये एक वे ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन जो बहुत ज्यादा चेंज हुआ उस टाइम में और अभी में, क्या आप इसके बारे में कुछ एक्सपीरियंस शेयर कर सकते हैं?
बहुत ही रिलेवेंट क्वेश्चन है आज के कंटेक्स्ट में. वेरी डिस्टिंक्टली रिमेंबर आर्टिकल इन वन ऑफ द लीडिंग न्यूज़पेपर्स इन द कंट्री विच इन आई थिंक 2001 or something, and it said that mobile communication is going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
It is actually going to be a stress creator, not a stress buster. हमें लगता है कि मोबाइल से बहुत जल्दी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है. So I'll give you two examples, different kind of thing. So imagine a soldier who's posted in line of duty on line of control in 96, 97.
Yeah.
घर में बच्चा बीमार है. His wife writes a letter to her husband कि घर में बच्चा बीमार है and ये हुआ. That letter reaches to him after 10, 12 days.
Yes.
Which is just a piece of information. He is cool, calm, doing his duty, not reacting.
Right.
At most what he'll do is he'll go to the STD PCO, that too after 9 o'clock जब 1/4 rate हो जाता था. He'll give a call to his wife and he'll come to know that सब कुछ ठीक ठाक है. Now flip side, he's standing on a road opening duty. He's got a rifle and active grenades in his hand. He gets a mobile call from his wife that son is not well. So much of anxiety, so much of stress that he builds in himself.
Yeah.
Whole day he's standing there for the duty, cannot do anything. Goes back in the evening and then he starts requesting for leave. Now these are small little things.
Yeah.
See, जिसको हम बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा बनाना शुरू गए.
Right.
बीमार पहले भी होते थे बच्चे.
True.
Soldiers के अब भी हो रहे हैं. But this communication change, the speed of communication has actually become a bane, not a boon. And it is causing a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety to the person posted there, leading to reactions which are very adverse in nature, like fratricides. आपने अभी recently last 10 years में कितने cases सुने होंगे? Soldiers running amok,
Yes.
soldiers killing their own seniors
Right.
for refusal of leave, for petty things like refusal of leave.
Yeah.
Soldiers firing at their colleagues and this
True.
thing. So these kind of incidents are being created by stress, by the use of mobile and this instant communication.
So when we talk about stress of soldiers, ठीक है, you're saying one point, that is telecommunication, that is a part of mobile phone that actually everyone is using, and because yeah, I understand कि family में किसी को भी कोई भी problem हो रही है and he is just or she is just calling, तो एक anxiety level increase हो जाता है. But are there any other kind of stress level that a soldier is facing while working?
See, the biggest difference that a soldier faces from his colleague in the civil world, civil street, is the nature of job. The nature of job of a soldier is 24/7. So he's on duty 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
He is authorized a certain amount of quota of leave. So when he goes on leave, that is the only time that he's on leave. For a person in civil, that he goes to office in the morning, he comes back in the evening. So after about 6:30, 7:30, whatever time he comes back home, he has time with his family. He has time to de-stress in the form of TV or OTT or his children or maybe going out or in whatever terms. But a soldier is never off duty. So
Okay.
whenever he is in the unit, he is 24/7 on duty.
Okay.
Even though there are ways and means of relieving him from duty, because obviously people have to get rest, people have to go for the basic necessities, food and other things. So he gets off duty, but then anything happening in the unit, especially in field area, immediately a siren goes off and everybody is on duty. So 24/7 you are on duty. That is the biggest difference, but certainly not a stress. It is a difference, but not a stress. In other terms, I see the separation from the family in field areas is a reason for stress. If you are staying in your house, you can be of immediate help in terms of looking after your child, taking him to the doctor, or I mean a stupid thing like your wife and your mother not getting along, and these kind of stupid issues you can so may be called that you can resolve them immediately. But staying away, you are kind of not able to look at these issues. But otherwise, in terms of weather, yes, the vagaries of weather, wherever the soldiers are deployed pan country, there are very, very remote areas where the weather is extreme. There are many areas where the roads are not available. So the vehicles go only up to the roadhead. From there, he has to walk along with his baggage. And that forms part of our training in NDA and IMA, and even when the soldiers are getting trained in the respective recruitment centers.
Okay.
So this is a way of life, and this is part and parcel of our upbringing into the army life.
Army life. Okay. So when we talk about NDA life, so NDA के लिए एक स्टूडेंट है जो प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, और the maximum rejection that we used to read in the article newspaper में या कहीं पे भी जो हमें पता चलता है is from SSB. Returns बहुत के निकल जाते हैं, but जनरली जो स्टूडेंट है वो फेस करते हैं अपनी SSB में. So Why this is so hard? मैं समझना चाहूँगा कि एनडीए में जो एक ऐसा कौन सा टेस्ट होता है उस 7 days में, ऐसी क्या चीज़ें हैं जिसमें रिजेक्शन रेशियो इतना ज़्यादा है? So can we have something on it?
See, Indian Army, as I told you before also, it's very different from other professions.
Yeah.
It's a way of life. For this, living this way of life, there is a certain amount of mindset.
Okay.
There is a certain amount of the way you think is required. And this is what SSB is all about.
Okay.
So when we go to our, after passing our written exams, when we go for our SSB test, apart from the normal physical tests which you have, we also undergo the GTO, which is the group, the group task officer and the psychologist
Okay.
test. So you are being analyzed by a psychologist
Okay.
for the way you think.
Okay.
And you cannot get trained for that. I mean, you may go on any amount of training for SSB, but it is very difficult to change your basic self. In those time pressure tests, your real personality and the real you comes out.
Okay.
So whether you have it in you that you will be able to endure these kind of hardships or these kind of separation from your family, or you will be able to lead these kind of lives, is a question mark for which you are being tested for.
Okay.
So the ratio as people get rejected in the written exam versus SSB, the SSB is much lower. But then the basic component which you are being tested for is your psychology, is your thinking.
So most of the part is from psychology, I could say.
Yes.
This is the basic you. They wanted to check out
Exactly.
the exactly you.
What is the basic you?
Okay.
You
That's what
cannot
they wanted to
feign,
figure
you
out.
cannot portray something else
Yeah, right.
which you are not.
Okay, perfect. So, sir, you competed NDA right after your schooling. ठीक है, ये अलग बात है कि आप TPSR के पूरम के स्टूडेंट थे. But when I talk about the average student जो एक नॉर्मल स्कूल से पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं और they are in 11th or 12th, how hard NDA is for 12th student? आपने कहा कि ठीक है 12th में जब आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो at the same time you can apply for NDA. वो आई अंडरस्टैंड, आई गेस हमारे यूथ जनरेशन को भी ये चीज़ समझ में आ रही होगी. बट हाउ हार्ड इट इज एंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सिलेबस और व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन पैटर्न, क्या चीज़ें हैं जो एनडीए में पूछे जाते हैं?
So as far as written exam is concerned, whatever you're studying, if you have taken up science and you have maths, as far as written exam is concerned, you will be able to crack it easily.
Okay.
With the basic knowledge that you have of your 11th and 12th.
Okay.
As far as the SSB is concerned, as I told you, you have physical tests. So you have to be a little fit. You have to be, people are playing games. हालांकि मोबाइल की जनरेशन में धीरे धीरे कम होता जा रहा है.
Yeah.
हमारे टाइम में शायद हम क्रिकेट, फुटबॉल, भागना दौड़ना was very very common. But आज की जनरेशन के लिए थोड़ा सा फिजिकली फिटनेस मेंटेन रखना अपना सेल्फ का. एंड नेक्स्ट इज योर पॉजिटिविटी टुवर्ड्स लाइफ. आप जो भी करें या जो भी सोचें, पैशनेट रहें, उसकी तरफ पॉजिटिव रहें. एसएसबी का साइकोलॉजी टेस्ट नोबडी कैन गेस कि व्हाट इज द रिजल्ट गोइंग टू बी. आपकी पर्सनालिटी में आपके पास इतने सारे ट्रेट्स हैं जो कि कुछ एग्जिबिट होते हैं दुनिया को, कुछ नहीं होते. हिडन ट्रेट्स हैं जो आपको मालूम है, कई चीज ऐसी हैं जो आपको भी नहीं मालूम है. बट इफ यू आर पैशनेट, इफ यू आर पॉजिटिव, इफ यू आर थिंकिंग करेक्टली कि किसी का नेगेटिव नहीं इमेजिन कर रहे या सोच रहे, SSB is easily crackable. There is no issue at all. Then comes the medical. Medical में there are issues on eyesight. So there is a particular laid down thing. I do not remember exactly. I think 6/10 or something. जिसके beyond rejection है.
Okay.
Knock kneed is a rejection. Flat feet is a rejection.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody that if you're preparing or if you're wanting to prepare for your NDA and IMA exam, better is to read the medical parameters, get your medical examination done, and then only start preparing.
Then you start for it.
Yes.
Otherwise,
because these are
when
birth
it
defects.
lasts.
See, flat feet and knock kneed, everybody knows right from the birth itself.
Right.
So अगर आप 10th या 11th क्लास में भी अगर अपना मेडिकल करवा लेते हैं, अपने आईसाइट चेक करवा लेते हैं, then you start preparing for your written and SSB, and it is easily doable. आप इसको आसानी से हासिल कर सकते हैं.
Okay. What is the first post that a person is opting after cracking NDA? Right
Post in
after
the
NDA.
sense rank.
Yes, rank.
So in India we are all called cadets.
Cadets. Okay.
we could be a army cadet, we could be a air force cadet, or we
Okay.
could be a navy cadet,
Okay.
naval cadet. In IMA, we are gentleman cadets.
Okay.
So we become GCs.
All right.
Immediately after IMA, when we get commissioned, so this is the again a very unique thing about Indian Army, that the commission is by the President of India.
Okay.
So the certificate, the parchment that we get, it is signed by the President of India.
Oh, nice.
And that is really, I mean, honorable
Yes.
for the defense services. President
Right.
is the supreme commander of the armed forces.
Right.
So when I joined, that time the first rank used to be second lieutenant.
Second lieutenant.
Yes.
Okay.
After about few years, the second lieutenant rank got abolished, and now the gentleman cadets straight away become lieutenants.
Okay.
So you stay as lieutenant for about 3 years, then you become captains. At 6 years, you become majors. At 13 years, you become lieutenant colonels.
Okay.
Till lieutenant colonel, there's a time-bound promotion.
Okay.
So till 13 years, if you passed your basic mandatory exams in the army,
Okay.
you will become a lieutenant colonel. Thereafter, as it happens in all the other services, the pyramid is steep.
Yeah.
So for colonels, your promotion board happens in the form of a selection board,
Okay.
which happens somewhere in the service of 16 to 18 years. And depending on your merit in your batch,
Overall, yeah.
you become a colonel or fail to become so.
Okay.
And then it's a brigadier, major general, lieutenant general, and the general, which is only one chief of army staff.
काफी सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन है जो हमें आपसे पता चल पा रही है सर. So when I talk about Indian Army life, you served Indian Army for approx 30 years, I could say 25 years as service and 4 years of training. Just wanted to understand the entire 30 year in short form. कि ठीक है, आपने ज्वाइन किया इंडियन आर्मी, what position that you got, rank I could say. उस रैंक पे आपने स्टार्ट किया. What was your job profile and what kind of work that you have done in the entire 30 years? So I do understand it's a bit hard to explain in summarized way, but I really wanted to understand एक छोटे से फॉर्म में कि कैसे क्या आपके जॉब रोल थे.
Okay. So, Anupam, the moment we pass out of IMA, everybody is allotted a particular arm or service. So, basically, we divide into three. We have a fighting arm, we have a support function,
Okay.
and then we have the logistics.
Okay.
So, fighting arm is basically infantry, जिसको हम पैदल सेना के नाम से जानते हैं. Then you have artillery, which is जो guns use करते हैं 25 किलोमीटर 30 किलोमीटर रेंज की. And then you have armored, जो कि ये tanks use करते हैं. Support function में आपके पास air defense है, आपके पास communication है, and इसी तरह logistics में. So I was in the core of logistics. So initial 3 years that I spent, we do there is a very good thing which is happening in the Indian Army, that even if you are in the core of logistics, first 3 years everybody spends in the fighting arms. So इससे एक bonhomie डेवलप हो जाती है, इससे एक क्रॉस फंक्शन की नॉलेज डेवलप हो जाती है. So first 3 years I was posted in Jammu and Kashmir. First posting.
Okay.
So my unit was in Jammu and Kashmir. We were in a place called Uri, which is the last town in the country. And after that, there's a bridge, and Jhelum is flowing, and Jhelum goes into Pakistan. So Muzaffarabad, Chakoti, that area comes in.
Uri is the same, like just movie भी.
Yes, just a movie.
That is the one.
Exactly. So, Uri काफी famous हुआ
Right.
उसका. So Uri was my first posting, and that is the line of control. And being from a total civilian background, done 4 years training in places like Pune and Dehradun, going to J&K was a very different experience for me. And I still remember a very, good anecdote, that the moment I got commissioned, and I was told that my first unit is there in Uri.
Yeah.
So that unit's one of the junior commissioned officer was posted in IMA.
Okay.
So he came to meet me. He says, "Sir, welcome to our unit, and very good to meet you in Flana." And साथ ही में said, he says, "Sir, unit Uri में है sir. Sir, चिंता नहीं करनी sir, गोलियां चलती हैं but लगती नहीं है." So in a very simple and naive form, he was just trying to motivate a young second lieutenant कि सब गोलियां चलती हैं but लगती नहीं है. So with that dialogue in back of my mind, I moved to Uri, and it was a beautiful journey by train to Jammu. But then we have a convoy system. With convoy we reach Srinagar, stayed in Srinagar. Next day we reached Uri, and the system in the army is so good. The hand holding, the camaraderie, the brotherhood
Yeah.
that we all have,
Yeah.
that we all look after each other, because we are all are away from our actual families.
Yes.
So our lives in cantonments they're our family. So the way I was greeted, the way I was welcomed, the way I was treated in the unit, underwent training, and the entire fear. See, 4 years of training in academies is different. You are in a peace environment. You are
Yeah.
sitting in that fear of bullet is not there.
True.
But now suddenly you're in an actual world where while moving from place A to place B, a bullet can come and hit you.
Yes.
A bomb can blow up your
True.
vehicle. But then the kind of mental conditioning which you undergo in the unit in the initial days and the hand holding which happens. So my 2.5 years there in Uri went off like a piece of cake. It was, full of adventures. I had, we used to go for night ambushes.
Okay.
We used to sleep in open. It used to be shivering cold. We used to carry our sleeping bags. And it was an experience, sleeping in the open sky, gazing at the stars and falling asleep. Quite romanticized in the movies.
Yeah.
But when it come to actuals, it was a little different.
Yeah.
So after that, then after 3 years, I moved to my original job, which was in the Corps of Logistics. And within the logistics, I was responsible for maintenance of supply chain.
Okay.
So I was, in a corps where we look after air transport.
Okay.
So any place where vehicles cannot reach, animals cannot reach, so the troops are supplied through helicopters.
Okay.
They are dropped, vegetables are dropped, the dry rations are dropped, the kerosene is dropped to those posts. So air transport is one aspect. Second is animal transport, where vehicles cannot go. Third is the mechanical transport.
Okay.
So these are all parts of transport. Then was the supply part, in which we were getting our supplies from central procurement and distributing them to all the units.
Okay.
Third was the fuel, oil and lubricants, in which we are getting the products from the PSUs like IOC and Bharat Petroleum and all, and then we're distributing to various units. So our function basically becomes to look after the administration of fighting arms and the support functions.
Okay.
And every man in the unit has to be fed. So that used to be our duty, that we cannot fail. We cannot give any excuse that why rations did not reach in time, or why the transport did not reach in time, and those kind of issues. So I'll just wind it up here only. So my next, from 99 till 2021, I served in the Corps of Logistics, and my journey was as part of supply chain management, whether on the side of transport or on the side of supply, or even on the side of planning.
Okay.
So we have had tenures where we also become the part of the planning staff.
Okay.
So there itself also the job is Herculean, because we're planning for each and every Jawan, how much rations have to go, how do we have to go, in what time frame do we have to go. Then I did my mandatory courses, kept doing well in them. Got promoted to the rank of full colonel, and just before I left, I also underwent a course which is for the rank of brigadier. So now when I left, I was already kind of approved for brigadier.
Okay.
And so this journey was awesome, and it was a wonderful journey. It was too good, gave me so much of exposure, gave me so much of experience. Roamed around all around the country.
Yeah.
And even had a stint in foreign country also.
Okay.
And overall, it's a wonderful career. And the youth of today must align and must take this as their first option, even if before they think of going to corporate life.
Oh, nice. I have a question, sir. So, जब आपने ब्रिगेडियर की पोस्ट, यू वर अबाउट टू गेट ब्रिगेडियर पोस्ट, दैट इज अगेन बहुत ही अच्छी पोस्ट है. उस रैंक से पहले यू डिसाइडेड टू स्विच योरसेल्फ टू कॉर्पोरेट. ये आई कुड से इट्स रियली हार्ड टू डिसाइड हैविंग अ सेफ सिक्योर जॉब. एक आपके पास गवर्नमेंट जॉब है, रेपुटेड पोजीशन है, आप एक बहुत ही रेपुटेड रैंक को होल्ड कर रहे हैं, इंडियन आर्मी जैसे रेपुटेड इसमें आप हैं. सो कैसे आपने ये डिसाइड किया कि ठीक है, इट्स टाइम टू स्विच?
The decision, of course, was very hard.
Yeah.
Even my own family and colleagues were not convinced with the decision.
Yeah.
But I personally believe, and I'm through your medium, I want to convey this message that we all need to come out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
कंफर्ट जोन में रह के आप सिर्फ स्पॉइल होते हो, आप कुछ नया नहीं सीखते, आप कुछ नया नहीं करते, आप ग्रो नहीं होते. हम सबकी लाइफ में किसी ना किसी टाइम में वो पॉइंट आता है व्हेन वो कंफर्ट जोन स्टार्ट स्पॉइलिंग यू, व्हेन लाइफ बिकम्स टू स्टैग्नेंट, you kind of become very comfortable with life. You just getting up in the morning, passing your day, and then just sleeping in the night. There is nothing new happening, there is nothing
Sure.
there's nothing exciting happening. After having spent about 29 and a half years in uniform, I thought it is my time now to go outside and explore the world. There is so much outside the world has to offer. Every field has so much of knowledge, every field has so much of depth, and this thing. So before you actually reach the age of retirement, in fact, this also I strongly believe, आज के world में there is no word called retirement.
Retirement, yes.
You only upskill and change your job. You keep upskilling, keep changing your job. Finally, maybe you end up as a consultant
True.
or as a specialist in some field of yours. There is nothing called retirement.
True.
Army life retires you at 56 or 58 or 60, depending on your rank.
Yeah.
So this was also one of the reasons that I wanted to change gears. I wanted to switch to a new life. I wanted to switch to doing something new, learning something new. And again, very interesting that even coming outside, I do not want to stick to one field.
Okay.
So every 2 years, my endeavor is कि एक नई दिशा में, एक नए फील्ड में जाया जाए, कुछ नया सीखा जाए, कुछ नया एक्सप्लोर किया जाए. Learning is never ending.
True. During your entire journey, आपको एक बहुत ही अच्छे पद से सम्मानित किया गया सर, दैट इज विशिष्ट सेवा मेडल, एंड दिस इज अ बिग ऑनर फॉर एवरीवन लाइक यू. तो ये अवार्ड क्या है और किस चीज के ऊपर इस अवार्ड को दिया जाता है अपने इंडिया के अंदर?
Vishish Seva Medal is a presidential award.
Okay.
So it is awarded once a year.
Once a year.
On 26th of January. And there are various categories of awards. So we have Sena Medal Distinguished, then we have Vishish Seva Medal, then we have Ati Vishish Seva Medal, Param Vishish Seva Medal. These are all awards given during peacetime for for distinguished service, for anything exceptional, anything special that you've been able to do for the organization, even for the country. So I got this award as a while in my last posting. I was in the as part of Ministry of Defence. There were a couple of things for which the award was recommended for. I'll just highlight 2-3 major ones.
Okay.
I was heading looking after the disaster management of the country,
Okay.
along with the Ministry of Home Affairs Disaster Management Division.
Okay.
So my appointment was the link between the services and the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Okay.
So whenever any disaster used to strike the country, in terms of कहीं बाढ़ आ गई, कहीं avalanche हो गया, landslide हो गया, lake burst हो गया, southern peninsular region में we see कि हर साल बाढ़ आती ही आती है.
Yes.
So I used to go for a conference to the CAPSEC. वहां पे सबके रोल्स असाइन किए जाते थे.
Okay.
कि किसने क्या करना है, वो हम वापस आके हम अपना एयरफोर्स, नेवी, आर्मी से कि भाई इतनी बोट्स भेजनी है, इतने कॉलम्स भेजने हैं, इतने हेलीकॉप्टर्स भेजने हैं, वो ऑर्गेनाइज करते थे. एंड देन वी यूज्ड टू कंटिन्यू डूइंग दैट टिल द टाइम सबको बचा लिया जाता था, सबको रेंज खत्म हो जाती थी एंड रिहैबिलिटेशन फेज में आ जाते थे.
Okay.
सो एज इंडियन आर्मी वी डू नॉट हैव एनी रोल इन द रिहैबिलिटेशन फेज, बट द इनिशियल इमीडिएट रिस्पॉन्स फेज एंड द disaster phase we have a big role.
Okay.
So this was one of the major thing which I accomplished here.
Okay.
During my tenure in MOD, during this time only, COVID also happened, and since COVID was also a disaster, so I also became part of the कोविड रिस्पॉन्स फोर्स ऑफ द कंट्री. सो जब वर्क फ्रॉम होम होता था, सब लोग घर पे बैठे होते थे, तो उस समय हमारा काम 24/7 चल रहा होता था. वी वर इन फर्स्ट वे वी वर गेटिंग PPE kits and ventilators from other countries. We were getting evacuees from other countries.
Yeah.
I still remember first evacuation happened from Wuhan, China, जहाँ से वायरस स्टार्ट हुआ था. 17 January 2020. That was the first evacuation flight which we undertook from Wuhan. जब हमें वायरस के बारे में इंडिया में अभी तक मालूम ही नहीं था.
Right.
We were still coming to terms कि ये है क्या और क्या हो रहा है.
All right.
So वुहान से आई फ्लाइट, देन श्रीलंका, मालदीव्स, ऐसे करते करते देन March 20 happened, लॉकडाउन हुआ.
Yeah.
So March 20 से लेकर till almost when I left, COVID was a huge task which we did, me and my team. Second wave में we got a lot of oxygen.
Okay.
So साउथ ईस्ट एशिया से, मिडिल ईस्ट से अपना शिप्स के थ्रू ऑक्सीजन लाई जाती थी. ऑक्सीजन कैन नॉट बी ट्रांसपोर्टेड बाय एयर.
ओके.
तो जितनी भी ऑक्सीजन फिलिंग होती थी, सारे ट्रक्स बाय रोड जाते थे, खाली ट्रक बाय एयर ट्रांसपोर्ट होते थे बैक फॉर दिस थिंग. सो these kind of intricate planning, this thing went into for planning of COVID response.
Okay.
So this was one of the tasks which I accomplished there as part of the disaster management thing. Second major I want to highlight is we have a system of international logistic agreements.
Okay.
So every country have their logistics in high seas and within own country. But when you start planning on a global level, see, the location of India is very, very prime. We are right at the mouth of Indian Ocean region and strategic location. So we have our agreements with many countries, which is called reciprocal logistic agreements. So my being from the logistics, again, my branch was handling these logistic agreements, right from designing of these agreements, negotiating, signing, and actually implementation and executing these. And this resulted in saving of huge amount of foreign currency to our country.
Okay.
In terms of, I mean, lot of logistic savings took place, and we signed with almost about 8-9 countries during my tenure.
Okay.
And it is still on that. It is continuing to be growing.
Okay.
So these are two major tasks which led to a lot of saving of lives, lot of saving of funds,
for the nation,
money, energy for the nation.
Right.
Which led to my this award. Of
that is the main reason for getting that award.
Ji.
Nice, perfect. Sir, you had a privilege to work in Sudan, I believe, yeah? For how many, what was the tenure, or I could say the years?
See, Sudan, I mean, any country which is undergoing an internal TEF, which goes beyond the control of the country.
Okay.
As part of United Nations, they deploy a peacekeeping force in such kind of countries.
Okay.
So United Nations peacekeeping operations mission was established in Sudan.
Okay.
And every country which wants to contribute troops.
Right.
So we have people from Nepal, we have people from Pakistan, we have people from Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and many other African nations also. So as part of the peacekeeping force, I was deployed in Sudan.
Okay.
I was heading a transport company there.
Okay.
And there were contingents of 27 countries there.
Okay.
And our major role was the movement of troops from one place to another. The nation was almost under breakdown.
Yeah.
There was no law and order. So your convoys were always under attacks. There were firing going on. And the tenure is generally about 12 months. But it ranges from about 12 to 15 to 16 months.
What was your tenure there?
I spent about 12 months there.
12 months.
Yeah.
What was the difference while working in India and while working in Sudan? What are the basic challenges, or I could say basic changes, I could say?
See, first and foremost is India, every alternate tenure is field, peace kind of thing. Sudan is complete field. So it was a field tenure at a stretch.
Okay.
The dynamics were such that you're always under a complex, volatile environment, where firing is going on, where logistics should not break down, where troops had to reach their location quickly, and you are under the pressure of the UN conventions that no human right violation gets taken place by your hands. In terms of if you're doing a retaliatory firing, nobody should get killed. So there are chapters under which the mission gets deployed. Chapter 5, 6, 7 and all. So you have to abide by the rules of the UN. So you undergo specialized training before you get inducted into these kind of missions, that what all the chapter include, what all are you supposed to do, what all the actions you're not supposed to do, and those kind of things. And operating with different countries was again a different experience. There's so much of mutual exchange takes place. Within one country, you are just confined to whatever you know. But while you're stationed there, you're also interacting with other countries, other troops, and the overall experience is, it's a very, very high degree learning. It's a very good learning experience, interacting with armies of so many nations.
Yeah. Sir, moving from Indian Army, military to corporate, definitely it's a huge adjustment, I could say. So what kind of skills that you believe from Indian Army has helped you to get this kind of job, or I could say to get you prepared for getting a job in the corporate?
See, the biggest thing, as I told you before also, NDA is called the cradle of leadership. The leadership skills that we imbibe there, the natural thing in us of leading from the front, of the initiative, of the ownership of things comes in. And that training itself is so tough that we actually come to know that body can take anything. Human body is quite versatile, and whatever stress you may subject it to, it can take anything. Having come out with these kind of background skills, coming out in the corporate, though it was different, it was a very different kind of skill sets required. But I feel that with the strong leadership skills that we have, and that we naturally come out with, the strong sense of camaraderie and the brotherhood that we come out with, which is totally lacking in corporate. Not averse with, not talking averse about anything, but the life outside is such. These kind of skills, when we apply to our corporate roles, is a very, very welcome change for people interacting with us in the corporate world also. And as you rightly said, my first job was with Reliance Retail. It was again, a good learning experience. It is a leading brand. It is the leading brand in as far as retail is concerned, e-commerce is concerned. I was looking after their security and loss prevention vertical. One of the businesses initially for first 1 year. Second year I was in another business. But and it was pan-India role. So the transition was quite smooth. The hand-holding was quite nice. The training went off very well. And when I came out of Reliance Retail after 2 years, it was very, very enriching, and it proved out to be a very good first stepping stone in the corporate.
Right. And currently you're working as CEO of Nuts and Fruits Council of India.
Yes. So from there I graduated. I moved on to, I joined the Nuts and Dry Fruit Council of India as the CEO.
What is this? Nuts and Fruit
this is a conglomerate of all the dry fruit and nuts traders in the country. They have come together to form this council. This is a non-profit organization. And it is a common single voice of this community that they want to represent to the world, to the exporters in other countries, and to the government and other agencies like FSSAI and the APIDA and the PQ in the country. So they have come together for for unity, for being the single voice as such.
All right. 2021, you left your job in Indian Army, you jump into corporate world. 2021 एक ऐसा time था जब I could say COVID का impact market में था at that time. So in terms of jobs, scarcity of jobs भी market में at the same time थे. उस time पे ये decision लेना कि I have one secure job of Indian Army, I'm sitting on a very good position, I'm holding a good rank. उस एक comfort zone, you already given the answer, but still एक comfort zone को छोड़ के with having all the responsibilities, आपने ये कैसे डिसाइड किया कि मैं कॉर्पोरेट में जाऊं, वो भी इतने टफ टाइम पे? बिकॉज वो टाइम बहुत टफ था. आई कुड से दैट इज एडवर्स टाइम. उस टाइम पे ये डिसीजन लेना इज अ काइंड ऑफ लाइफ लॉन्ग लेसन फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. हम ये एक माइंडसेट और साइकोलॉजी समझना चाहेंगे कि ये डिसीजन कैसे था उस टाइम पे.
सी अनुपम, द डिसीजन इज एज इम्पोर्टेंट एज द टाइमिंग ऑफ डिसीजन. आपने जिस समय वो डिसीजन लिया, अगर उसकी टाइमिंग सही नहीं है,
यस,
सो वन पार्ट यू वेरी वेरी करेक्टली ब्रॉट आउट कि वो टाइमिंग सही नहीं थी. इफ आई टेल यू द काउंटर ऑफ दैट, मुझे ऐसा लगा दैट आई एम लूजिंग आउट ऑन एज as far as the civil world is concerned. I needed to take that decision very quickly. Second is we keep talking about unemployment, we keep talking about jobs not being available. Actually speaking, I think otherwise. With whatever little corporate experience now that I have, there are jobs available in the market. There are jobs available in the private sector, in the corporate, in the MNCs. We as students of college, coming out of the college, हमें अपने आप को सशक्त करना बहुत जरूरी है.
True.
हमें ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है, और उसके लिए क्या माध्यम है वो जानना बहुत जरूरी है. So, जैसे व्हाइट बोर्ड है, ये बहुत अच्छा माध्यम है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए.
जी.
हम सोशल मीडिया पे या रील्स पे, मतलब nothing against that generation also, this generation also,
right.
But at the same time we need to upskill ourselves.
True.
सिंपल थिंग्स. अगर आप अपने कॉलेज में आप पढ़ रहे हैं, अगर आप कॉलेज में आपके जब भी पढ़ाई है या सेमेस्टर ब्रेक हो रहा है, अगर आप अपने आप को सिंपल स्किल्स लाइक MS Excel, बहुत बेसिक चीज बता रहा हूँ, MS Excel से अपने आप को सशक्त कर लेते हैं. यू वोंट रियलाइज द वे इट हेल्प्स यू आउट. योर फर्स्ट जॉब एज अ एग्जीक्यूटिव 25,000 30,000 महीना, योर स्टार्टिंग जॉब एज अ एग्जीक्यूटिव, जस्ट बिकॉज आपने वो एक्सेल सीखा हुआ है. Whereas अगर वही टाइम आपने रील्स में स्पेंड किया हुआ है, so I mean I'm digressing from the question you asked me. I was talking about the skills. कि आपको अपना स्किल सेट्स एम्पावर करना बहुत जरूरी है. एंड सिमिलरली आई वाज कॉन्फिडेंट ऑफ माय स्किल सेट्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ लॉजिस्टिक्स बैकग्राउंड, इन टर्म्स ऑफ security background, in terms of leadership skills, in terms of the strong passion and the ownership that I possessed, that something or the other will happen. And God was kind. While being in service, I mean, I kept getting offers, though we were not, I mean, officially I could not be accepting them and all that, but we kept getting offers and things worked out well. But as a corollary, I was giving the message to this generation also that हमें साथ साथ अपने आप को अपस्किल करते रहना होगा. हर समय, even while in a job, you are working on a job, साथ साथ अपने आप को आप अपस्किल कर सकते हैं किसी नए स्किल से, ताकि आपके नेक्स्ट जॉब में, आपके रिज्यूमे में एक जॉब भी जुड़ेगी और 2 स्किल्स भी जुड़ेंगे. एंड यू हैव एनफ प्लेटफॉर्म्स अवेलेबल एज ऑन टुडे to upskill yourself. Anything you want exactly. You should be clear कि आपने करना क्या है, and आप अपने आप को upskill करना चाहिए.
Okay, sir, like NDA is the one pattern to join Indian Army. Is there any other scheme जिसके through हमारी youth generation, अगर if they wanted to join Indian Army, so is there any other scheme जिसके through वो join कर सकते हैं?
Yes, absolutely. So what the armed forces have done, they made the joining process so simple and so, I mean, vast. That आप किसी के थ्रू भी, अगर आपने इंजीनियरिंग कर रखी है, you can, after finishing your engineering from outside, you can join as part of the technical entry scheme.
All right.
And it's very beneficial. आपका you just have 1 year of training in IMA after that, plus you also get 2 years of anti-date seniority. So even though you joined in say 2025, your seniority throughout your service will be of 2023. Plus you get paid for that 1 year of IMA training. You can join if you've done your law degree. And now you feel that no, I do not want to practice outside. I want to be in a government job. So you can, even after law, you can join. If you've done your B.Ed and M.Ed, even after doing that, you can join.
Okay.
After your graduation, see, I joined after 12th. But after your graduation, you can straight away join IMA. That is also one available.
Okay.
After your graduation, you can join Officers Training Academy. So that is, उसमें 2 तरह के entries हैं. One is a permanent commission. One is a short service commission. आपको अगर आपको लगता है कि मैं डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ कि मैं आर्मी के लिए फिट हूँ कि नहीं, या वेदर आई विल बी एबल टू सस्टेन देयर और नॉट, जॉइन एज अ शॉर्ट सर्विस कमीशन ऑफिसर. आप 5 years नौकरी कीजिए, यू हैव एन ऑप्शन ऑफ एक्सटेंशन ऑब्लिक लीविंग. आपको पसंद आए आप एक्सटेंशन लीजिए, उसके बाद आप परमानेंट कमीशन ले लीजिए. आपका पैशन आपका फुलफिल हो गया, आपको पसंद आ रही है, आप एक्सटेंशन ले लीजिए. आपको लग रहा है 5 years बाद नहीं, आई ओके नाउ आई वांट टू डू समथिंग डिफरेंट, आप 5 years के बाद आप छोड़ के यू कैन कम आउट एंड गेट इनटू कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ. सो यू आर स्टिल अबाउट 26-27 एंड यू आर अवेलेबल फॉर योर एंटायर कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ.
राइट.
सो होल लॉट ऑफ स्कीम्स आर अवेलेबल फॉर ज्वाइनिंग द आर्म्ड फोर्सेस. सिमिलरली जैसे मैंने सिर्फ आर्मी का बताया, इसी तरह एयरफोर्स का भी है, नेवी का भी है. You can join through any of these mediums which I just told you.
Okay. Pre-retirement, जैसे आपने pre-retirement लिया इंडियन आर्मी से, so pre-retirement में क्या सारे perks and benefits of इंडियन आर्मी के ऑन रहते हैं या?
हाँ, so when we get commissioned, just before that, sorry, for the matter in fact in SSB only, we do sign a bond of 20 years.
All right.
So 20 years are mandatory service. For to be eligible for availing these benefits.
For all the benefits.
Yes. So I took premature retirement at the at 25 and a half years of service.
25 and a half.
So any time after 2021, you can still leave and come out.
Okay.
If you plan for some family compulsion or for some other reason, if you plan to leave early, before 20, then you will not be entitled to the benefits.
So completing 20 years is actually mandatory.
Yes.
This is only for Indian Army or for all the defense?
All the 3 forces.
All the 3 forces.
Yes.
Whiteboard का भी यही एक मोटो है सर, because we have seen the tremendous job in the market. बहुत ज़्यादा जॉब हैं, but at the same time unemployment are there in our country. The basic challenge और एक gap जो मैं feel कर पा रहा हूँ personal level पे is skill set. Because interviews भी लेता हूँ और colleges भी visit कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो एक पर्टिकुलर स्किल सेट होनी चाहिए आज की जनरेशन में, वो नहीं मिल पा रही है. एंड एक्चुअली समवेयर जो आपने भी बताई, अगेन आई एम ऑल्सो नॉट अगेंस्ट ऑल दिस, बट रील्स में एंड वॉचिंग सम फनी कंटेंट ऑन इंटरनेट, वी आर स्पेंडिंग टाइम एंड हमें पता नहीं चलता हमारे सारे टाइम उसमें निकल जा रहे हैं, और वी आर नॉट एबल टू इंक्रीज आर स्किल सेट. हम कोई नया एड ऑन नहीं कर पा रहे अपने स्किल के साथ. वी आर जस्ट गेटिंग द डिग्री फ्रॉम द कॉलेजेस. ठीक है, हमने अब ये डिग्री ले ली, नाउ वी आर स्टार्ट लुकिंग फॉर द मार्केट कि ठीक है यार, अब मुझे कोई जॉब मिल जाए इस टाइम पे. एंड दैट इज द रीजन, दैट इज द लैक ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, और आई कैन से लैक ऑफ स्किल सेट व्हिच इज लैंडिंग अस टू अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अल्टीमेटली. ठीक है सर, दैट्स अ इंस्पायरिंग जर्नी जो हमने अपने सारे ऑडियंस को बताया आज आपके साथ. और बिफोर वी एंड दिस सेशन मैं एक सवाल और आपसे पूछूंगा, बट उससे पहले मैं एक और क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा, इज अबाउट वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस. बिकॉज वर्किंग एज आर्मी ऑफिसर एंड एक जोन में होना और वहाँ की जो फैसिलिटीज़ हैं उनको यूज़ करना, इन सारी चीज़ें. नाउ वर्किंग इन अ कॉर्पोरेट लाइफ, वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस इज टोटली डिफरेंट आई कुड से. आपने क्या एक बेसिक चेंजेस फील किया वर्किंग इन गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर, वर्किंग इन प्राइवेट सेक्टर in terms of work life?
If you permit me 30 seconds extra, I will take this question answer from a different perspective.
Please.
Few years back, we had this Agniveer scheme launched.
Yeah.
Agniveer scheme, आप सबने सुना होगा इसके बारे में. The biggest positive, I don't want to get into politics part of it. I don't want to get into negative positive part of it. But as a standalone entity, as a standalone thing, the biggest advantage I found out of this was कि हर एक को, सो जैसे मतलब मैं जब 12th में था तो प्रिपरेटरी हॉलीडेज होती थी, सुबह 11-12 बजे उठते थे, कोई पढ़ने की रूटीन नहीं थी, कोई बैठने की जागने की रूटीन नहीं थी. बट द मोमेंट वी वेंट टू एनडीए एक रूटीन में आ गए कि सुबह उठना है, सुबह हम 1 घंटा हमने फिजिकल एक्सरसाइज करना है, फिर हमने 6 घंटे अपना ये पढ़ाई, उसमें हम ग्रेजुएशन कर रहे थे तो पढ़ाई करनी है, अब वीकेंड से ऑफिस काम करना है, फिर शाम को हमने 1 घंटा गेम्स खेलना है, फिर हमने 2 घंटा. सो आवर एंटायर आर्मी लाइफ went into like this kind of a bifurcation. So work-life balance, what you said.
Yeah.
So army is a perfect example of work-life balance. It gives you get paid for having that work-life balance.
True.
In terms of कि आप सुबह अपनी हेल्थ मेंटेन करने के लिए जाते हैं, आप पूरा दिन अगर आप ऑफिस में काम कर रहे हैं या जो भी जहाँ पे भी असाइंड है, शाम को आप कंपल्सरी आप गेम खेलते हैं. From 4:30 till 5:30 till 6 o'clock, we are playing football, basketball, volleyball every day. And then from 8 o'clock onwards, we go to our messes, we interact, we socialize with other, because we are one family there. So work-life balance in the army came out very naturally because of the routine. And since अब वो आदत पड़ चुकी है, so even after coming to corporate, I am still following the same routine. I am still following my same physical regime. I am still following my same social routine. And I advise everybody that work-life balance is a very, very important facet which will not burn you out. अगर आप सिर्फ वर्क में लगे रहेंगे and you think that this is the end all, you will lose out on your family, you will lose out on your children, you will lose out on giving values and time to your children. They will get into mobiles because आपने उनको एक passive babysitter दे दिया है. But आप अगर वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस मेंटेन करेंगे, you will be able to be fresh for the work next day. You will be able to deliver much more and work much more in much more efficient manner.
थैंक यू. बिफोर वी एंड आवर सेशन सर, आज का एपिसोड हमें रैप अप करना है अब. तो द एंटायर शो, द चेंज मेकर शो इज ऑल अबाउट गाइडिंग द यूथ जनरेशन ऑफ इंडिया. तो हमारी एक कोशिश है कि मैं इंडस्ट्री लीडर्स को इनवाइट करूं अपने शो पे, और उनकी एक इंस्पायरिंग जर्नी जो है वो हमारी यूथ जनरेशन को जाए, सो दैट हमारी यूथ जनरेशन को एक पाथवे बहुत अच्छे से समझ आए, और दे कैन लिसन एंड अंडरस्टैंड द जर्नी ऑफ इंस्पायरिंग लीडर्स. So what kind of message, I really request you one bite of message that you want to give to the youth generation of India. आप अगर हमारी जनरेशन को, यूथ जनरेशन को कुछ छोटा सा एक मैसेज देना चाहें.
The few things which I've imbibed in my life, which I feel are the most important snippets from my entire life. Firstly is being passionate. आपको किसी काम के प्रति उत्साहित होना, आपको उसको समझना कि ये काम उतना जरूरी है. देन ऑनेस्टी, इंटीग्रिटी, आपका जो उस टास्क के प्रति एफर्ट्स जा रहे हैं, दो शुड बी टोटली ऑनेस्ट, बिना किसी डाउट के. अगर आप कर रहे हैं, अगर आप एक राह पे चल पड़े हैं, यू हैव टू इम्बाइब, यू हैव टू गो ऑल आउट ऑन दैट. एंड थर्ड, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज इनिशिएटिव एंड ओनरशिप. आपने सुना होगा कि अपॉर्चुनिटी नॉक्स ओनली वंस. आप अगर इनिशिएटिव लेंगे, आप सेंस ऑफ ओनरशिप और पर्पस होगा, आप उसको ग्रैब कर पाएंगे. आप अलर्ट, हर समय सजग और तैयार टू ग्रैब एनी अपॉर्चुनिटी will take you places. As I was just discussing with Anupam also, while doing a particular thing, you have to keep preparing for the next thing. You cannot have a time lag or a waste of time in between two things. Keep doing one, keep upskilling, keep preparing for the next. When you're doing this next, keep upskilling, keep preparing for the next. And this is how you'll keep rising, you'll keep shining, and you'll keep working hard. And last line, that the human body and human mind can take as much stress as you subjected to. हमें हमेशा लगता है कि मैं बहुत थक गया. There is nothing called थक गया, it's all mental. Keep enduring, keep stressing yourself physically and mentally while you have years to earn, you have years to learn. And I say just 40-45 तक. उसके बाद you should slow it down and then live your life comfortably for the rest of the years that you have. But for that, the years from 20 to 45 or maybe 40, you have to learn, you have to upskill, you have to struggle, and you have to continuously be at it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. It's really, we really had a great conversation with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Anupam. It was really a pleasure chatting with you. And my heartfelt congratulations to you for this wonderful show and this wonderful initiative that you've taken for the youth of this country.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful concept, and you're doing a great human service to the nation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.